everyone, time for a journal page today, and I just want to do some flowers. So I'm going to start off by taking some of my Lindy's Stamped Gang Starburst Cement Green, and I'm going to spritz some here at the bottom like so, and then I'm going to take a rather wide brush and I am just going to flick it straight up the page like so. And that will give me some grass. Cool, huh? I like that. Okay, now I want something for the sky here. So I'm going to take some more of the Lindy Stamped Gang. This is the Starburst Tiffany Lou Blue. And I am just going to spray it up here. Like so. And that blends in beautifully with the grass like that. It really does a great job. And for a new technique today, we're going to take some alcohol. And I poured some into a cap. And this is just regular rubbing alcohol that I'm using. 70% rubbing alcohol. Nothing fancy. And I'm going to take my pipette. And I'm just going to drop some down here. And I'm going to let it, I'm going to walk away. Oops, that one's running. And hopefully this is going to translate into some flowers. Doop, one there. Okay. So we'll leave that alone. We'll let that dry, and then I'll be back, and very easy peasy page, we'll finish it up. Okay, so I took my Sakura pen and I just doodled some centers into my, flowers. I like to think they're poppies, but, they are what they are. And then what we'll do is we'll just take your pen and we'll just bring it down and then just lift off. So you're going to give that edge that has gone into the grass, but it doesn't have a defining thing. And, whoops, okay, that's alright. We'll just make that one in front of that. Got a little carried away. Got carried away again on that one. There we go. Okay, so there we go. Got some flowers. Just kind of, ending into the grassy area. And now the fun part, I'm going to take some of these beautiful butterflies that I got a print off from Freda F. I'm not sure how to say that actually. Printables. You can make them big or you can make them small, and I need the small ones for this, so cut some out, and then I'm just going to glue some on here, and then I'll work on my writing. So I'll be back after I cut these out. You know what? I think some little white dots would be really pretty there, so I'm going to take out my little sprayer. My white pen is dry, so I need the ink. So I'm going to shake up this. This is the Maya Mist Whiteout. This is just a little random tray I have here. And I'm going to set up my pen. So you need the brush tip. Slide that through. Whoops. I had something thin in there. Oh, I had that paintbrush in there before. Set that up so that the tip of your brush hangs over the little part where the air goes out. And then tighten it up. Okay, very easy. And I'm going to dip it into this Maya Mist White. And then I'm just going to spritz in some really light little dots. You might not even see some of them, but I'll have a picture of them too, so you'll be able to see that later. And this way, I just get more control than I do if I did a big spray bottle. The sprayers come out so intense that for a lot of what I like to do, it's too much. So, awesome. Loving my little white dots on there. And then to take this out, you just loosen that up. Slide your pen out. Put your cap on securely. Remember we talked about the other week that if you can still see that little black line right there, that means your cap is not on secure. So you want to make sure you hear this click and make sure you don't see that black line to know that that's nice and secure. let that dry, and I'll be able to use that another time for something else. Alright, I'm going to let that dry. Got some butterflies cut out. I think I'm going to put one there, and I think one up there. I think that'll be really pretty, don't you? I hope you do. A lot of times when I use die cuts or anything that I hand cut out, I like to doodle around the edges. So you'll see on the right hand side, I used a 3, which is a very fine point on my Sakura Pigment Sensei pens. And I just doodled around the edges. So I'll do this side. And I do it very scratchy. And I do that for a couple of reasons. One, I just kind of like how that looks. But then two, when you do a scratchy look, you don't have to worry about things being exact. Okay? And if it's messy and it looks intentionally messy, then it works really well. Also, when I do die cuts, especially butterflies, I do not even try to cut out the antenna. Again, I use this little 3 and just draw my antenna on there. Much easier to do. Okay, secondly, now we've talked about this before. When you have anything coming out of something, so you have the stem of the flowers coming out from behind the little flowers, that needs to be thicker than the stem itself, because that is showing depth of something coming out from behind it. Now, I use the glaze pen, but there are times when I need a finer line, and when I use the finer line, it comes from this pack, which was the Ice Cream Smooth that you can get in the store. These are all fine lines, whereas the Sakura Gel that we have by itself in the store is a thicker line. So I'll take this little thin line, and anytime I need to smooth out or just graduate so that it fits better, I'll do that. So you can see how that helped a lot. And then I'll use that also to go back over my stems just to make them a little brighter. And I'll stay with this fine pen. Like so. So, again, when you have something flowered, and I left this one down here to do, take a pen. Doesn't have to be a thick pen. You can double up on your lines when you're drawing. But just come down, just like so. And then just draw that line in. Okay? And that just gives a little bit of dimension. Now, shadowing. Again, on this side, I used shadow. Okay, you can see the shadow here. Didn't do it over here. I think shadow really helps a lot. You can see I put a little shadow under all the flowers. On my page here, my shadow is coming from the top. I mean, my sun is coming from the top of my page. Okay, so that means all my shadows need to be under the subjects. So, on the butterfly, I'm just going to do this bottom part of the wing here, and just a touch right there on that wing. So there we go. So that gives a little bit of shadow. I've done the same thing with the flowers, where I just drew the shadow underneath the flower. So here's one I haven't done. So I'll just draw a little bit of shadow. And I also need to do my stem here. Now you have to be careful when you're using Sakura pens. While they are wet, they will smear. Just have to be patient and kind of walk away from it. There's nothing else that you can do about that. And I also added shadow to my stem. So here's one that I've done last night. So I just run a shadow straight down the stem, and it just helps it pop out a little bit. Okay, and you can also not do shadows on the ones in the forefront. Like this one here, I didn't do a shadow on the stem because it's in the front of this flower behind it. So this flower behind it has a shadow, but not the one in front. Again, this is the one in the front, so I'm not going to put a shadow, but any that I try to portray to the back that I want to push to the back, okay, I've done a shadow. Like this one here should have a shadow, okay, because it's behind. So just run. And for my shadows, I love this Pitt pen. This is, what color is it? Cold Gray 4233. And I love that one. It's my to-go-to. And it looks like I made a little mistake here last night. It's the only thing bad about doing things at nighttime. So we'll just make that shadow a little bit bigger. Either that or I hit it with my pen when I was talking about it. But it's all good. Okay, there we go. Now to finish up, all I have to do are my words. And I took a pencil, and the reason that I really like to use my mechanical pencil when I'm doing this is because when I'm putting the words out here, of course you want to make sure they're straight, and I do use this, which is just a little right angle, and I butt it up against the edge of my book so that I know I have a straight line, or at least a fairly straight line. At this point, I'm not that concerned. Like I've said before, my journal books are where I practice and play, and then I take it to a sign, after I get everything idea-wise what I want to get do. So I wrote my letters, but the reason I like to do it, what I was saying before, in the pencil, is that when I was figuring this out, I noticed that this flower stem and this flower stem kind of go together with the word. So I can make this one into a T and this one into an L. Something I really like doing. I think it's just fun to look at. So now all I'm going to do is do my letters. I'm going to glue this little butterfly down here because I like the pink butterfly against the green, brings the pink in together. And then I'll be finished. I don't think I'm going to put a border around it. I think I'm going to leave this one just like it is. So that's it. I do want to point out though, if I didn't before, I want to make sure that you know that right now, if you do subscribe to any of the Frosted Design kits, you get the visual journal, 3 of the water brush pens, and this Maya Mist whiteout that I was using as a gift for signing up and subscribing to the kits. So, great little gift idea. You play along with me here and finish a project. Show it on the Frosted Designs Facebook page. Make sure you load it into the album so that you can be entered in for the drawing of the free graphics that we have for this month's prize. And I can't wait to see what you make. Join us over there. It's a lot of fun. And have a good time just playing around with this. And you don't have to make a journal page if you want to play this week. You can make a card, a layout, a scrapbook page, whatever you want to do. And I gave you some techniques to try. You've got the shading, the dry brush where we did the grass, and dropping alcohol onto your inks or watercolors. It'll work on both of those. So, have fun, play along, see you next Sunday. Bye.